the company that we made the film with, which is the Cooperative British Youth Film Academy, the year before we made the film, they made a film based on As You Like It, William Shakespeare's As You Like It. And because the Cooperative British Youth Film Academy is all about giving young people a chance to make feature films, it As You Like It really gave the students like a firm platform, like a strong foundation upon which they could tackle and grapple the challenges of making a film. And I was doing a tiny bit of editing on As You Like It, and as I was editing it, I was kind of going, you know what, this is a brilliant idea, and actually this, you know, until we get some really solid original screenplays in, this is actually really a really useful way of giving young people their first step into the film industry. And so I started to kind of rack my brains of what maybe I might, what we could do, and Julius Caesar came to mind. You know, it was actually Julius Caesar or Othello in my head, and I kind of ended up kind of swaying towards Julius Caesar. How did the young actors deal with the Shakespeare? Very well. I mean, it's kind of I don't want to say surprisingly well, like we thought that they wouldn't, but refreshingly well, I think. You know, I think that people often believe that young actors may not have the capacity to tackle Shakespeare, and that's not the case at all. And that's another reason why we wanted to do Shakespeare, is to kind of keep feeding this cultural pillar to the next generation of artists, and they coped with it really well. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, it took them time to, and probably, well, not probably, definitely longer than maybe more experienced actors would take to kind of break it down and to understand it. But once they got inside that text, they brought something to it that I think older actors would have struggled to bring something to the text. You know, it was for that reason it was refreshing and it was exciting, and they did an exceptional job.
I think it comes from the text, you know, being Shakespeare. It's a difficult one to translate, you know, from the stage to film, you know. So it was creating something that was heightened but also real, you know. I think really, well, for me, we wanted to kind of create, because it's like an apocalyptic future and it's Shakespeare, how you kind of root it in the world that it's in. And for me, it was all about creating a timeless feel to it, you know. And that came through with the visuals and kind of how we approached production design and everything, really, so that, you know, people couldn't actually pin it down in one particular area. It could have been shot anytime, it could have been set anytime. So that fueled with just the natural, I don't know, it was just, we were naturally kind of drawn to black and white. I think it was always going to be that way, you know. And then when we asked the higher echelons at BYFA if we could do it, and they were like, yes, we're like, yes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, so the way that the BYFA auditions is because the Cooperative British Youth Film Academy is a cooperative of 18 further and higher education colleges across the country. And those colleges are split into 4 regions. And so what happens when it comes to auditions is that the BYFA goes and visits each of the member colleges and runs auditions, workshop auditions. So it's not just kind of like 5 minutes, come in and get brutalised and then get sent away. We kind of break it down and we help the students through the audition process and kind of give them the best chance possible. And each of these auditions is run in each of the colleges. And from there, from the first stage, which is run by the staff of BYFA, particularly Kevin Atkinson, from there, then the directors are brought in for the second stage of auditions after seeing audition footage, and then we start to hone things and kind of advance the selection process. Loved it. It's incredibly exciting that, you know, we've always described it as like making films on the front line. That's what we're doing, you know. No money, no time, and no experience, but a huge amount of passion, dedication, tenacity, and enthusiasm. And to have that recognised by such a prestigious film festival is amazing. And to be here in places like the Apollo Cinema is madness, really, for us.
It is unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really? We never thought we'd. have that kind of recognition.
No, and particularly Raindance as well, because Raindance for us is different from, say, Cannes or BFI or Toronto, Berlin, whatever. Because it champions the next generation of filmmakers, and that's exactly what we aspire to be. That's what we try and inspire in the students, to do something new, to do something different, and to build a film industry for tomorrow. And in that way, there could be no better film festival that we would be selected for.